All right, class, let's get started here. We've got tip testing this week. We're working on our green stripe last week, so we'll get a chance to test for that this week on the Sinawali's that we practiced, whether it's single, double, or double, depending on your rank. We'll also get a chance this week to review some of that sparring curriculum we did last week and just get a little bit more repetition under our belt, feel a little more comfortable with those movements. So that's what we got coming towards us today. Let's go ahead and have a blast. Come to attention. Set position. Student creed, sir. Line 1, I pledge to develop myself in a positive manner. Line 2, I pledge to use what I learn in class constructively and defensively. Line 3, I pledge to foster friendships and contribute to my community. And back to All right, everybody, we're going to keep our warm-ups nice and simple today. Each one that we go into, I'll give you an option for something a little bit more challenging. And we're going to be going 45 seconds for each one. Finally, I think I mentioned this last week. I'm not going to be doing any jumping jacks, but if you would like to do some jumping jacks, go ahead and add some jumping jack sets around the world. So that means you would go 10 regular, facing the front, you go 10 shuffle, where the legs cross. And then you do the 10 Nordic jacks. Once you've done that, you turn face to the side, same thing, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and then finally you are done. Or if you feel a little more like a challenge, then do the front one more time. So it'd be front side, back side, and front one more time. All right, so first warm up here, we're gonna start with some squats. Again, we're going 45 seconds. If you wanna make it a little bit more challenging, then you can add in those jumps instead. Ready, on your marks, get set, and go. Bend the knees, stand up. We've always talked about keeping good posture in these, right? Make sure that the shoulders stay back, that you're not bending at the hips. Keep good posture. And of course we mentioned as well, the quality is more important than the quantity. I would rather you get like 20 really great squats that way you get to the proper depth, that you keep good posture, than to get a whole bunch of ones that are really sloppy, right? 15 more seconds, let's keep going. I'm gonna speed it up just a tiny bit here. 10 more seconds. Oh yeah. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1, and break. All right, next up, we've got our just regular push-ups. If you'd like to do something a little bit more challenging, then bring those hands in and make a diamond instead. Or do as I'm gonna slow it down a little bit, okay? Finally, reminder, I'm going knuckles down. You guys do not have to do that. Please do the palms down, whatever you're comfortable with, okay? 45 seconds, on your marks, get set, and let's go. Especially on a couple here, I'm just gonna try and control my descent, and same thing as I rise back up. Give myself a little extra challenge on that. The breathing, remember, you want to push away the hardest point of the movement. It's pretty easy to fall. You just kind of let gravity take over. When you're pushing against gravity is when you have that challenge. 10 seconds left. Oh yeah. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and break. All right, final one. We're going to be doing some crunches here. A little more challenging version would be an erg. If you haven't done that before, body extended. Notice I've got my shoulders off the ground and my feet. I'm going to bring my chest to my knees and my knees to my chest. Trying to squish it into the middle there before we extend back out. Again, 45 seconds for the whole set here. Ready? Pick one of the two and go. Sitting up tall. Ooh, sorry, it's supposed to be crunches, right? Just getting those shoulder blades off the ground. Of course, if you want to do those ergs, those can be a lot of fun. Get you a great ab workout, especially if you're spending a little bit more time inside with a little bit of rain. Get a good workout in. Make sure you keep your abs tight too. Think about the muscle group as you're working it. Try and squeeze the abs as you come up. There we go. 10 more seconds, everybody. 5 more seconds. And break. Nice work. We've got our message of the week next, so please feel free to add a little bit of stretching in now as we go over our message of the week. All right, everyone. So our message of the week this week is lengthen your line. And the idea behind this message of the week is that you can take this idea of a line. It can be like a representation of the skill and the experience that you've accumulated in something over the weeks, months, or years that you've done it, whether that's something like basketball, or if it's playing piano, or if it's some martial arts. And the goal is that when you look at this line, that you don't look to the people around you and compare where your line is to theirs, but you compare your line to where it's been in the past and see, have I made improvements? Have I made strides to become better at what I'm doing? And especially in this time here, there's probably a lot of things where we either haven't had the chance to do recently because we couldn't, right? Or maybe that it wasn't something that was at the highest of importance in our lives, and it kind of got pushed to the side a little bit, but we're getting a chance to come back to it. And that's why I employ you to not look at, am I better than I was in February, but say, it's not a one-time thing to think about, it's an everyday decision. Am I lengthening my line today? So instead of looking at how good I was at something way back in March, right, like March 14th before lockdown happened, it's, am I getting better today than I was yesterday? And that's the idea of lengthen our line. It's not about the people around us, it's, hey, can I improve today? What choices can I make to lengthen my own line? And so that's our message of the week. Think about those things, whether it's something you haven't done in a while because you couldn't, or just you had to put it off to the side a little bit, or maybe as you practice it, you still felt like you weren't making those same improvements that you would have been able to do back last year. Lengthen your line. Are you better today than you were yesterday? That is our message of the week, guys. We've got some Sinawali coming up next. All right, team, let's get a chance to review our double stick Sinawali from last week. There's nothing much to talk about here. If you've got 2 sticks, go ahead and grab them. If you've got 1 stick, you can grab that. If you've got no sticks, it all works out. You can do it with a partner as long as you have the same number of sticks as your partner. So if you have 1, they have 1, you can make it work. If you've got 2, they've got 2, get the idea. So let's jump into this. We got double sticks Sinawali to review. Make sure you've got 1 stick in each hand here. I'm gonna mirror you just to make this a little bit easier. So put your right foot forward, take your right hand, put that stick up on the shoulder there. Take your left hand, bring it across the body and put it to the ribs. Now remember, we had a 3-move combo that we repeated on both sides. Our end goal is to make it feel like a 6-move combo instead of 2 3-move combos. Hopefully that makes sense. So, all right, first one here. Top hand, right hand is going to do that forehand strike to the head, and that one's going to follow through. The lower hand here is going to strike to the knee, and that one's going to follow through as well. My goal is to bring these both to my shoulder and try and keep them as parallel as I can. Basically, I just don't want this one to cover that like that, okay? Finally, take our right hand again, it's gonna hit to the head, and it comes back down to the ribs. So that's our lone retracting strike in this combo. Again, right hand up on the right shoulder, left hand comes across the body to the right side ribs. Right hand to the head and through is 1. Left hand to the knee and follow through is 2. And then finally, our right hand here to the head, retracting would be 3. One more time, and then we'll add on that other side too. We strike to the head, follow through, strike to the knee, follow through, strike to the head, and retract. Now the opposite side. Again, this top hand is going to start. In this case, that's left hand. Strike to the head, follow through. Lower hand down here. Strike to the knee, follow through. And then finally, our top hand is going to strike to the head, and it's going to retract to the ribs, which should find us in that original starting position, right? So that's our full 6-move combo there. Again, a little faster. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool, huh? So let's do that again, nice and slow. From our set stance here, right hand up, left hand low. 1, right hand to the head, follow through. 2, left hand to the knee, follow through. I might have messed up that first one. Right hand, it should have been if I said left. If I said right, then ignore what I just said. 3, right hand to the head, and it's gonna return back to our ribs, that retracting strike. Good, now we get this other side. 4, left hand to the head, follows through. 5, right hand goes down to the knee, follows through. And then 6, we've got our left hand one more time, backhand strike to the head, that one's gonna retract back to the ribs. And again, we finish that combo one more time, a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. and break. All right, guys, so for tip testing this week, if you have sticks, you can go ahead and use them. If you don't, or if you only have one stick, then you are still welcome to tip test with that one stick or with none. That's all fine, right? If I was going open hand here, right hand up, left hand low. Chop up to the head, follow through. Knee, follow through. Head, retract. See how I'm following that same pattern? And I'm just replacing it with open hand strikes instead of a strike with a stick. So it works out all the same for us here as you go through your strikes. Now, what if you had one stick? You could either hold on to the stick here as you do your tip test, or if you opted to just go open hand, that works too. If I'm here, notice that if the hand's got the stick in it, it's gonna do a strike with a stick. If it doesn't, it'll do one of those open hand strikes. The important part here is you're showing me what the pattern looks like and showing me that you understand where each hand is supposed to move and what kind of strike it's supposed to deliver. Because again, if you watch without any sticks, you can tell, oh, my palm's up, I can tell it's a forehand strike. I can tell it's a backhand, that one is a backhand, forehand, backhand, right? So it's basically showing me that you know the combo, you know the moves. Excellent work, guys. Now, to those of you who are higher up in the rankings and you've done this Sinawali before, or if you've done double stick Sinawali before, something I would challenge you to do is to see if you can get your hands to work together as opposed to working independently. So instead of strike, and then as soon as this right hand stops, I use my left, and then when it stops, I use my right. Say that's just one at a time. I would try and go both at the same time here. And the cool part about that is that it's going to allow us to have a little bit of a faster pace as we go through our double stick Sinawali, without necessarily having to move our hands any faster, right? I could keep my hands moving at the same speed, and you can tell, right, it's gonna be half the speed. So hopefully at some point you can get this double, although it's not necessary for tip testing, just something that I wanted to show you. So excellent work with double sticks Sinawali today. We've got the tip testing on that this week. Again, you can do it 2 sticks, 1 stick, or a 0. It's up to you. But right up next, we've got some sparring to review. So last week, guys, we talked about our triple roundhouse kick back knuckle punch. So let's get practicing on that real quick here. Remember, in that sparring stance, the goal was to try and do a small slide for each roundhouse kick. So I'm going to pull that chamber out. 1, 2, 3, back knuckle punch, and then slide back out. If you've got a target, usually that means you're not going to hit it with the first 2 roundhouse kicks, right? Especially if I'm sliding for all 3 of them. It means that I'm trying to slide and get the roundhouse kick. I'm trying to slide, they're backing up, and on that final one, I was able to reach them, and I continued it with that back knuckle punch. So, there's nothing more to add on to this one. So let's get 45 seconds here, practicing that triple roundhouse kick back knuckle punch. I'm going to be focusing on keeping my lead hand up. You haven't already, I'd advise you pick one thing that you really want to focus on today to make sure you get the most benefit from this practice. But 45 seconds, let's go. You're going to see, right, I mentioned that I'm practicing that this lead hand from, I guess, that left hand there sticking out right now. I'm going to focus a little less on my sparring stance. I'm still, at times, going to have it in there, but whew, that last kick didn't get too high, did it? All right, I'm focusing on one thing primarily. 1, 2, 3. Not letting anything else fall to the wayside of no longer chambering or no longer punching, right? But I want to make sure that I'm really focusing on something at conscious effort to improve. And break. That's it for our sparring, everybody. Keep working that triple roundhouse kick. Keep thinking about that balance as you go through, that lead hand sticking out. Oh, my good back knuckle punch, keeping that clean as well. Excellent work. We got some announcements next. So I'd like to remind you that not this week, but next week, so Thanksgiving week will be closed Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Regular classes, regular private lessons, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we will not be open indoors, so for classes that is. So that's it for our announcements, everyone. I hope you guys had a great week with your tip testing here. Looking forward to seeing all those videos. Let's come to attention. Let's bow out. Class dismissed.